And now we explore Washington's response to the devastation caused by Hurricane Ida with David Bibeau of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. He's the acting associate administrator for response and recovery, and he is just back from Louisiana, where he saw areas hit hardest by the storm. He joins us now from the FEMA headquarters. Mr. Bibeau, how would you say this aftermath compares with what we've seen after other hurricanes?
Well, Judy, no question the devastation is heartbreaking. I joined the FEMA administrator yesterday with the governor, saw the damage in Lafourche, Terrebonne, St. John the Baptist, as well as Jefferson parishes. Some of the reporting from your correspondent there was in those same places. And they're going to need a lot of help, and recovery is going to take a lot of time.
I'm sorry. So what is FEMA's principal role at this point? We see there's enormous effort at the local level, but what is it that the federal government can do?
Right. So we've been involved since several days before landfall, pre-positioning meals, water, tarps, blankets, cots, specialized teams. We were able to participate and support the search and rescue mission that has still been underway today. And some of the National Guard distribution, points of distribution that you saw there in your reporting, we've established a flow of commodities to make sure that that can continue in the days ahead. Also importantly, with the persistent power outages, we've provided hundreds of generators as well as folks from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to help install those at critical facilities like water treatment plants, sewage plants, as well as hospitals and other critical facilities. And that's the important work that is underway right now.
And what's your understanding of how long it's going to take to get the power back? I mean, we've seen estimates of going into weeks and a month.
And we know that with 150-mile-an-hour winds and the extent of the damage, that it could be a while. Entergy, the primary power provider, has more than 20,000 personnel that they are bringing into the state to expedite the return of power. Importantly, the president the other day approved a major disaster declaration which authorizes assistance for individuals and communities. So people who have been affected by Ida can go on FEMA's website or disasterassistance.gov, download the FEMA app, or call 1-800-621-FEMA to take advantage of that assistance. We've already approved more than $25 million in assistance for affected Louisianans in the past day.
You mentioned the very basic needs that people have. We heard that from our own reporter: food, water, power, shelter. Is FEMA and our other agencies going to be able to get people the help that they need?
Well, providing that support in such a degraded environment is extremely challenging, and that's why we're seeing the parish presidents, the mayors encourage their residents, if they did evacuate, to wait to return. And it's really critical that Louisianans who left town in advance in response to those mandatory evacuation orders, which probably saved lives, heed those continued directions from local and state officials about when to return, because we don't want folks returning to a place where essential services have yet to be restored.
What if people are watching this and they want to help? What can people in the who don't live in the area do to be of help?
There are two things I would suggest. First, you can visit envoad.org and find a charity that is active in disasters and donate to provide support. It's always better to donate money than it is to donate supplies in kind. And the other thing it's really important to note is that the remnants of Ida are not done with us. We have flash flood warnings, we have tornado warnings across the Northeast tonight into tomorrow. So it's critical that folks pay very close attention in the Northeast, because there is still a very life-threatening weather situation unfolding from the remnants of Ida right now.
And we've seen that reporting, flooding in Pennsylvania and Maryland and other states. But just finally, back to Louisiana, how concerned are you that we could be headed for a real humanitarian crisis with so many people now out of power and, again, out of water and out of food, gasoline?
Being out of power presents challenges, no question. Our focus in support of the state of Louisiana is to get those generators attached to those critical facilities so that we can have as many essential, absolutely essential services available as possible. The city of New Orleans opened cooling centers today, as well as points of distribution that are unfolding across the affected parishes. And folks can find information about those in their neighborhoods. There are folks going around to make sure that the message is getting out about the availability of those services. And we are going to keep the flow going of those meals, the water, and the essential support items in the days ahead.
David Bibeau is the acting associate administrator of FEMA. Thank you very much. And we, of course, wish you and all your colleagues the best with all this important work. And we'll talk with the mayor of New Orleans a little later in the program.